What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to another episode of the Bathurst Challenge. Now today we are doing a car that is very near and dear to my heart. It is the Audi Sport Quattro Group B. It's one of my favorite rally cars, and thank you very much to Mr. Lorenzo Highsetta for the suggestion. I am so excited to take this car around Bathurst. I have no idea how well it's going to do. I have no idea how poorly I'm going to do, but this is one of my all-time favorite cars, and I cannot wait to chuck it around this track. Just see what we can do. So, without further ado, I think we jump straight in, see how it goes, and just go from there. So here we are in Assetto Corsa, and I'm sure you can already tell, not only is this one of the more iconic rally cars for a lot of people, myself included, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to see what this car looks like. Coming down the mountain leading into the chase with that third-person camera view, I am so excited, I don't even think you understand. So the same rules apply. Like everything else, we're going to get it on an outlap, see how the car behaves in some of the tighter areas and some of the faster straights on the track before we dive right in, do our 10 hot laps, and hit you back with the fastest one we get. So without further ado, I think we'll jump right in and just see how she goes. Alrighty, here we go. Now, like I said before, I am very excited to see how this car goes. Just mashing through the gears. God, it sounds amazing. Oh, jeez. It's already up to 6th gear. Let's slow down at the 100-meter board. Down into 3rd. We'll go around this last corner of the circuit. Oh, and it just feels so planted. The last video we did in the Bathurst Challenge series was the NASCAR, which taking that around any of these corners was an absolute struggle. But this just feels so planted to the track. I think this is definitely going to be such an ideal car to take around the top section of the mountain and get it down through the S's and the dipper. I think it's just going to hold and stick to the road the entire time. I cannot wait. Now I'm pinging it in 6th gear, 193 kilometers an hour. This is where I think it's going to suffer in that top line speed, but down into 4th gear just to do this first turn up the mountain here. And again, it just feels so glued to the road. Really pushing it. Now I think the same thing is going to apply on a lot of the faster parts of this track, is getting the speed. Oh God, way too fast coming into there. I got a little bit too confident with the Group B. I think this is really going to suffer on a lot of the straights because we're going to hit that top speed early and have to ride it down all the way. But with any luck, if we can make it up in some of the corners, I think we may have a pretty competitive lap on our hands. So I'm going to jump right in, do our 10 hot laps, come back with the fastest lap, and just see how quick this car can actually be around Bathurst. So I think what we'll do is just dive right in. So here we go, fastest lap in the Audi Sport Quattro Group B, going straight through the start-finish line here, ready to get our fastest lap solidified and up on that leaderboard. Braking at the 100-meter board, completely missed the very first apex, but we're going to feed it out to the outside curb here to try and maintain as much momentum that we possibly can. Now, one of my main concerns in the outlap of this car was the top line speed, not having enough top speed and only being able to rely on the cornering and grip this car provides to get a fast lap up on the leaderboard. So we'll see how much that actually affects the car to see what we can pull it out of it. Now we're going to start going up the mountain here, holding that inside line to try and keep the speed going, foot flat to the floor here, powering up through the gears, heading into the cutting. Now we're going to go from 4th gear to 2nd gear here, going from the right-hand wall, tight corner on the left to try and keep that speed going before we do our ascent up into the skyline portion of the track here. Left-hand side of the wall, we're going to lift off and feed it through the inside line, foot straight back down on the throttle, powering through those gears to try and keep as much momentum through these tyres that we possibly can. Now this is one of those cars where you don't really have to lift off too much because the aero really provides such a great downforce and control. Just lost a little bit there on the right-hand side of the car, but able to keep it in a pretty steady pace. Now we're heading down the S's so quick through the S's, going down from 3rd to 2nd through the cutting before we get straight back on the throttle and get as much power back into this car and into the last portion of the track before we head into the Forest Elbow. Nice and tight on the right-hand wall there, leading into the Forest Elbow, slowing down really nice and smooth, powering out to the right-hand wall. Little bit of wiggle there, but we're going to keep that power going and head straight down the last straight of this track leading into the chase. Let's see how quick we can actually get this car on the speed trap. Now completely ignore the dirt. I promise you I did not hit the gravel once this entire time. That may or may not be a lie, but let's ignore that for now. Heading into the speed trap, see how fast we can get. 258 kilometers an hour, exactly what I was thinking with the top line speed, but still bloody quick nonetheless. Heading to the chase here, holding it on the left-hand side, powering through the gears, going straight underneath the liquid molly, ready to finish our very last corner here to get our time solidified and ready to go. I am so curious to see what the times are going to be. Powering down lower, holding it out to the right-hand side before we start going straight underneath the start-finish line, hitting at a 2:19.177. Such a bloody quick lap for this car. So there we go, the Audi Group B Quattro setting a blistering fast lap of 2 minutes, 19 seconds, .177. Now the reason I emphasize that 177, if we look at the leaderboard right here, the V8 supercar did a lap of 2 minutes, 19 seconds, .173, which means the Audi Quattro was 4/1000ths of a second slower than the V8 supercar. I have to say, I'm a bit biased, obviously, because I love this car so freaking much, but this was the funnest Bathurst challenge that I have filmed so far. If you want to try this combination, as always, I will leave the link to this car in the description. Not only was this a fun as hell car to drive around Bathurst, it pulls a lap of 2:19.177. So it is now holding P3 in our leaderboard, third place for the Audi Sport Quattro. I cannot believe how quick this car was around. When I did my first outlap, I was very worried that it wasn't going to have enough top-end speed to match some of the other cars, but my prediction was 100% correct. Getting it through any of those turns, the aero on this car and the grip that this car has made up for any top-line speed that it wouldn't have competed with the NASCAR and the V8 supercar. This thing is so quick. Now, like I said, I may be a little bit biased because I love this car so much, so the links are in the description. Please try it out for yourself and tell me if you agree how fun this bloody thing is to drive. If you guys have a suggestion for a car that you want to see do the Bathurst challenge next, leave me a comment below. Let me know what car it is. If I can find a mod for it, I'll do it. It's pretty straightforward. If you like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe. I post new videos every week. You don't want to miss it. If you guys want to come and hang out with us live, we stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at twitch.tv/thegamedepartment. I'd love to see you there. If you want to come and join us on any of our social media, I'll leave links to everything in the description, as well as an invite to our Discord server. If you want to join that, we have a great bunch of people. We would love to have you there. Come and say hello. Other than that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. I hope you had a good morning. I hope you have a good night. Bye.